Fair use. Fair use. Sad. Mental illness is real, man. You have to be really sick in the head to do that to another human being. To set another person on fire, sleeping. Okay? You don't do that to another human being. You just do not do that at all. Harrowing video shows homeless man being torched to death in stairwell. A homeless man who has been set on fire while he slept inside a Manhattan stairwell has died of his injuries, police said. Video obtained by the Post of the harrowing November 5th attack shows the blaze slowly engulf the unidentified victim's body after his attacker took a handheld lighter to the man's left leg at Samuel Gomper's houses on Pitt Street. Nathaniel Terry, 27, who lives in the building, was arrested the day after the attack and charged with attempted murder, assault, and arson, NYPD said. The incident has now been ruled a homicide, police said. Cops pronounced the victim dead Thursday. His identity remains unknown. The 911 caller had originally said the victim had a crack pipe on his lap and the pipe had ignited the clothes, police sources said. The caller also said he or she had put water on the man as he burned. No one answered the door at Terry's apartment Saturday, and neighbors said Terry lived there with at least 3 other people, including an older woman who is believed to be his mother. Neighbor John, 36, said he found it hard to believe Terry would do something like the crime he is accused of. Can't imagine him doing that, he said. Not with that guy. I've seen a lot of people coming and going from the apartment. Mom is disabled. They're really on top of that. He has a girlfriend. They have dogs. He plays with my dogs at the dog park. I would never suspect he would do this. I don't think he's that kind of person. Terry always seems like an upstanding guy, John said. The building can be rough with homeless people sleeping in the hallways and drug use out in the open, he said. Law enforcement source blamed Mayor Bill de Blasio's administration for creating an unsafe environment at the building, a total unmitigated failure to protect the homeless, mentally ill, anyone suffering with addiction. The sources said instead of providing safe, decent, affordable, low-income housing, you have the homeless, the drug-addled camping out in stairwells, turning the Gomper's house into an open drug market and makeshift shelter. Here's the thing, though. A lot of people blame de Blasio for a lot of things, but here's what you have to understand. A lot of these homeless people, they don't want to go to a shelter. Some of them just don't want to go to a shelter. They don't. They want to do what they want to do. They want to be free. All right? That's how some of them are. These people have free will, and they have a choice as well whether they want to get off the crack or not. All right? And I was looking at that video. That person has to be on drugs to not feel any pain. Knocked out. And that was the last addiction he had. The sad thing is, it's like nobody, without any identification, nobody's going to claim his body. His next of kin will never know what happened to him. In New York City, we have a thing called the Potter's Field. And in the Potter's Field is where you bury Jane and John Doe's, people whose bodies can't be identified. New York City does have a lot of issues, and especially a mental health crisis. And it's a sad thing. Yeah, it is so sad. Okay. And this guy who did it to him was had to be mentally ill. He had to be mentally ill to do this stuff. He had to be. It's crazy. But New York City is falling apart. It is falling apart. These mandates, poor adequate housing for the homeless, not really giving them jobs, because these shelters don't really give a damn about these homeless people. They just care about the money they get from them. They're not really interested in breaking their addictions, making them make a hard decision. It's going to be your life or the streets. Fix your life or you choose the streets. Not really doing anything for these homeless people. We have a very crappy mayor. Boston's out of control with homelessness and drugs too. There's tents everywhere. Hey, I wouldn't be surprised. And California's the same way. And they're not really doing anything about it. They're just shifting them to go different places. Okay? I believe in California, they just wanted to build a stadium, but they didn't want to do anything with the homeless. They just moved them somewhere else. No work on getting them jobs. No work on, providing them help to get a job, to get back into the workforce. They just want to milk them for money. It's the same thing here in New York City. They just want to milk them to just be a body in a homeless shelter. Because they know if they have a body in a homeless shelter, they get money. $5,000 a month. Okay? There's no real incentive to fix them, to push them to get work. And if they're too old to work, to put them in a nursing home. That's the problem here. New York City is... Sometimes I think about it. Maybe it'll be good if they had a Republican mayor in New York City. The Massachusetts government is letting it go to shit on purpose. They can't clean. Yeah, that's why I say it right here in New York City. It's the same thing. New York City, they're doing the same thing. They're letting it go to crap. And I really do think it's by design. I think it's by design. They want this place to go to crap so they can let in martial law. A lot of people are leaving New York City. Okay? Especially with these, when it comes to the mandates, okay, they're pushing people, get mandates, get that special sauce, but, social distancing. But you see Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she goes to a ball, they're not wearing masks, they're not social distancing. That shows you what they want to do. Rules for you, but not for me. New York's going to be a dystopia, a really bad post-apocalyptic dystopia. It's going to go back to the 80s. Drug habits, drug abuse, prostitution, madness everywhere. And it's sad because New York City is a great place to live. But, it depends on who's running the city, how to make it work. It's a great city. They have nice places to go to. And they have some good, friendly people. Massachusetts is Rhino Republicans. So yeah, Republicans in name only. No better, just corrupt. We need Christian men to run for local government. That's the thing. I mean, I can see on a local level, nothing wrong with that. The local level. But we all know the government's corrupt, And you have to shake hands with some of these people who are psychopaths in order to get deals done. I'm just saying that's how it is. These politicians and stuff, they're slaves to the donors. Let's say you wanted to have something fixed, right? Let's say you want your public schools fixed in your neighborhoods. So you donate money and you put in your vote talk to a guy that's actually going to do it. But then this guy gets a bigger bonus, bigger incentive not to do what you asked him to do. These politicians are like prostitutes, man. It's just that they're in nice Brooks Brothers suits and speak well, stuff like that. But anybody pay them a good amount of money, more than what you've donated, they'll whore themselves out. The local government, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. All right. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. What do you think about this? Let me know in the comments. Later. Thanks for coming by, Sarah Kasims. Thanks for stopping by.